Wasn't it Einstein who said, everything is energy and that's all there is to it? Match the frequency of the reality you want and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. Except, it never did. This
My name is Ian and welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. And for this video is I'm gonna be doing a reaction video about sa topic na ako nakita sa YouTube, which is the law of attraction, fact or fiction. So, kay karon good guys, is tignan kay mga influencer, mga gurus or mga motivational speakers or teachers na nag-talk about the law of attraction. So, di na kayo siya ingon na news na to pero lalo na sa mga millennials current. So, but we're gonna know if it's a fact or fiction. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Oh, by the way, guys, disclaimer, I'm not a professional when it comes to editing, so please bear with me, okay? So, my video will be very simple. So, let's start.
It begins with a seemingly simple, innocent idea. That thinking positive will bring about positive experiences into one's life. With mainstream promotion of the idea, with celebrities promoting it, entire career.
So based atong sa video, the law of attraction is siya kanang kung unsa to imong gina sa imong sarili, if kung nag-think ka og positive is mabalik pud sa mo is positive experience or positive mga positive na mga pangitabo sa kinabuhi.
Careers based around teaching it, surely
give me sa yarap. But anyways,
there's merit to the law of attraction. But the further you go down that rabbit hole, the less innocent things become.
I had friends that were telling me that the secret is real.
Law of attraction, manifestation, how to effectively manifest your dream life.
It's an idea heavily promoted by self-help communities, an idea that some become completely identified with. The law of attraction is no longer a fringe concept. It very much has successfully infiltrated the mainstream. In this two-part series, I'll be investigating the law of attraction as both an idea and the profitable industry behind it.
diba? So, karon mo good nga panahon is tiga na kayo mga nagahisgot-hisgot about sa kanang the law of attraction. Nalay mga grupo karon nga naga-promote about sa law of attraction. So, napayuban nga nahimo na siya og somehow nga negosyo or something like that good na aside sa gina-promote nila, then nag-create sila og community is naga-profit good sila about kay mga books, mga klase-klase ng mga books, mga instructions na mga guide kuno para ma-achieve nimo ang perfect manifestation gamit ang the law of attraction. Diba? So, let's go.
Because what begins as an innocent idea that most can get behind quickly turns into a tool for gaslighting, cults, and material harm.
Okay, disclaimer, the following is an opinion-based documentary and does not reflect the opinions of my sponsors. So, may siyang disclaimer in the video, but for me is, this is based on my opinion as well. So please don't judge me, and this video is not intended to incite hate or harassment toward any particular individual, either mentioned or not mentioned. The goal is to analyze the law of attraction as an idea and have a look at the business behind it all. Treat this as just another perspective, and I highly encourage you to do your own research as well. So, encourage you guys. mag-research. Okay.
This video was made possible by our sponsor, Trends, which to those of you who are interested in entrepreneurship, running your own business, or just genuinely want to inform yourself on these things are going to love. Because with a
Ikat lang
Trends
natin.
subscription, you gain access to an ultimate knowledge hub and a community of industry thought leaders in virtually every field. We fully begin to understand the problems with the law of attraction. We understand what its fundamental claims and beliefs are. And so allow me to give you an overview, as unbiased as I can possibly be. Everything in the universe is energy, moving and vibrating on their own frequencies. And so too are our thoughts and feelings.
Mutuwa mo guys nga ingon sila nga everything in the universe is just an energy, and that energy, it comes from a source, which is ginatawag na to called God, or sa religion pa is di ka na siya og name, depende sa imong religion or sa imong culture asa ka na belong. So I don't think I don't know if tinuod ba jud siya, if 100% tinuod siya, pero yeah, kung na may idea or butuo ba mo, or what is your opinion about that, then comment down below. Okay.
Whatever frequency your thoughts and feelings are vibrating at, you will attract that of which is vibrating on the same frequency. Just like tuning into a radio station, where when tuned to a certain frequency, we can hear only the songs that are being played on that frequency. Your life is much the same. When you set your intentions into the universe and you begin to think and feel on the same vibrations as that of which you desire, it is that of which vibrates on the same frequency that you will attract and manifest into your life, whether it's wealth, happiness, or relationships. It is by thinking and feeling as though these things are already yours that you will begin attracting these things into your life.
So muna lang giingon nga the law of attraction. So based on my understanding is mura gud siya og kanang since giingon nga mura siya og radio nga if kung kapantay ka, kung wala na tunong sa katong frequency kanang sa wish 1075 or something ana, if dili matulong tong ano niya, ang frequency ana nga station is magkarat diba ang ang radyo. So if ever magkarat, meaning to say is wala ka na align sa katong channel, or wala ka na align atong radio station. So dapat mag-match ang yung frequency para ma-pick up nimo ang signal, para good para clear o good ang imuhang masagap na information or signal. So for me, kita as a human being, or as a human being is mura ta og ano gud, mura ta radio, and then ang universe is like an antenna. Tama ba? Or lagi kita ang radio, tapos ang universe mo ang antenna. So kung unsa tong imuhang gina nga frequency or energy or vibration, or sa inyong term or sa inyong tawag ana, is kung mag-match siya sa energy sa universe, and then kung paghain mo ang energy mo or ang imong frequency is a good frequency, which is more on nagano na ka og success, tapos you're thinking more on positivity. So ang ihatag pud nga signal or frequency sa universe is mag-match pud siya sa katong imong energy or frequency nga gino-broadcast nimo sa universe. So para meet up niya, so bali ma-match siya sa imong energy, so mo pud imong ma-experience. So muna ko ang pagsabot na. Okay.
You've done it yourself. Remember those moments when you had a goal or set intention, and seemingly out of nowhere the right person appeared at the right time and place that helped you inch closer to or achieve that goal? When things just seemingly aligned in the universe. this.
Okay, kini is makarelate so as an appointment setter. So while nag-work ko sa akong previous job before is ang ano ba to manifestation is akong ginano kong mind ba nga kanang kapoy naman magsige og ano ay mag-commute every day tapos hassle kaayo kay sa Davao biya kay sa Davao mo ko nag-work so tapos call center siya and then pang morning siya nga call center so pang morning siya and then nagsigil ako og ano ba nga gusto na ko mag-work at home kay para kung gusto ko mo sa mga is makauli-uli lang ko bisa doon sa ako gusto nga adlaw and then mabalik ko kung saan ako gusto pod so mo to nga nagsigil ko ano sa kuno na nga mag-work at home so nag-search na ko online nagapangitan ako kung unsa ang best nga dili best kanang kung unsa jud lang ako ang like nag-search na ko sa work na kung gusto or any job na pwede siya sa pambalay siya so matong pila to ka days nga kanang sige ko sa kung una nga one day is akong gina-imagine ka sa akong sarili nga nag-work at home na ko nagamit na ako akong laptop nga nakalit before tapos mag-ano na ko kanang mag-duty na ko o gabi na po tapos nara ko sa balay tapos pila to ka nights na ko siya nga ginahuna-huna nga muna nga kada uli na ko gikan kong work is ako siya gina-imagine nga nag-work na ko sa gani kay kanang dugi ko makatulog kay gina-imagine ako nga nagtrabaho na ko as ano kanang nagtrabaho na ko sa balay so wala na ko damha one day nagchat ang ako ang friend before sa VX ay kauban ako siya and then niana siya nga iyan nag-hiring ang ako ang company sa akong partner basing interested ka mo apply so wala sure na so katong iyang friend is mo niyang nag-work siya sa kanya kung gitabuan karon so atong kung hala sige pa-apply ako so atong nga pag ingon niya nga iya kong i-refer tapos manatuning wala na ako nagdako nga ano nga malawat ko kay during the interview is medyo takilid na siya ko kay basta na ato about pangutan na ang client na naglisod ko og tubag kay about to siya sa computer tapos ang ilang napangita is Windows tapos akong gamit karon kay ano man siya Mac so pag medyo takilid na siya and then wala ako lang hanga kitakaan ko siya sa client so diba murag ma-relate na ko siya sa giingon ato nga if ever nga kung sa tong imong gina-aim sa imong life tapos gina-feel mo ang feeling kung na-achieve na mo siya is unconsciously dili mo bantayan or bantayan nimo nga naay mga panghitabo sa imong kinabuhi or naay mga tao or opportunity na mabot sa imo nga dili nimo di ba rin ginahumbang nga makalit abot sa imo so mo to kung ang sa mga realization basta mo to about imo
A powerful thing to know that by aligning your thoughts and feelings to that of which you want, you can manifest and make those things a reality. And just as positive thoughts and feelings attract positive manifestations towards you, so too will negative thoughts and feelings. When your predominant thoughts and feelings are of debt, relationship issues, and negativity, you will attract those things into your life.
okay support kini about sa relationship so kabantay kung kabantay pa po mo ako kabantay ko no if ever kani ka na naing mag-uyab na gikan ka lang sa break up tapos ano for example ang babae is broken pa siya di siya ka move on kay muling nasakitan siya about silang break up siyang boyfriend tapos ang isa wala pa siya ka move on is kanang ganing nakasita ako nung nagasik or naga-longing siya o attention sa uban nga murag and murag na used to na sila nga na sila ay kaupan permit kay malagi murag mo na ano niya sa katong well sila pa sa iyang uyab. Tapos instead nga mag-heal siya, i-heal niya iyang sarili para if ever nga naanap ay another relationship or another kind of yung kinabuhi is kanang prepare na good siya. Tapos ano ka nang andam niyang sarili ano siya maka-attract pa siya katong tao nga dili na same sa katong tao nga nagpasakit sa iya. So mo to na siya kung na-observe lang po pero kung na-observe po mo na ang uban ng good is mo pa break up pa lang gani kay ano mangita na po dahil kung ano mangita na po dahil o partner makita na po same lang gihapon po sila ang ex po niya magreklamo na po niya kung anong good way ka na ano mo kung parihan mo sa iyo sa mong ex nga ni anin na na-apply na mga compare then mag-away na po tapos magmulag na po tapos mangita na po lain. So mapito na lang i-able niya after sa inyong breakup is dapat i-heal sa inyo mga sarili, prepare na ka para yung mindset is ano na kanang nakamove na ka so wala na tong past relationship, past energies or past MLing kageng. So makafocus na ka sa bago kung imong mindset is ano na siya nang maayo na siya. So dili na ka mag-settle sa atong same level or same vibration or frequency atong tao nga ay pasakit sa imo or nagbulag sa imo, di ba? Parang mapun ako ang aning about anihang chismis.
Truth is that you can change your reality by changing your thoughts and feelings. The world is abundant with joy, love, and peace. Align your thinking and your feeling with that abundance. Leave the clutches of scarcity thinking, and your life too will be filled with abundance.
Diba, sir, the universe is abundant, sir, para makuha nimo tong abundance na sa universe daw is i-match nimo ang energy nimo sa universe. Okay.
Before we tackle this idea and the problems it creates, it's first important to understand what makes it so alluring. Positive thinking, the idea that you can change your life circumstances by changing your thoughts and your feelings, visualizing those goals that you have for yourself, truly being able to see clearly what it is that you want from life. These things are not necessarily bad. It's important before we continue that we make
dili na nato may palaan kung katong mga kanang ginapangingon sa mga gurus or sa mga influencers sa social media or kanang mga motivational teachers real or not.
This distinction. Positive thinking, having set goals, visualizations, affirmations, meditating, they all have their own place. But that isn't what I'm talking about here. The law of attraction takes these things and adds an element of spirituality to it all. For some of you, the law of attraction already comes off as absurd. But understand that its popularity and the money that flows in this industry is eye-watering. When you have people making so much money off something like this, then it's worth investigating the ideologies these individuals promote, don't you think? Because at the heart of this all lies a bigger problem, a problem that underpins self-help, gurus, new age spirituality, and success itself. To those of you that already believe in the law of
Diba, kabantay mo nga, based on my own observation is mga promote ko sa social media about mga spirituality or something mga mga law of attraction manifestation is nag-promote sila of books which is okay man siya kay siyempre ang books is makatabang siya to guide others, diba? So ang uban nag-offer og free guide daw and then ang uban is hindi mo siya paliton para nakay-access or nakay-guide. So mula yung gina-mention rin mga kanang about mga business behind aning concept or about any topic sa law of attraction or manifestation.
Attraction or things of that nature and are not willing to have your belief questioned or criticized, then I would advise not continuing. My only question now is, How willing are you to follow me down this rabbit hole?
Okay, are you ready? Are you go or not go, Jenny?
The law of attraction has a central claim to its belief that your thoughts and feelings vibrate on a frequency and that this vibration is able to, quote, attract vibrations of a similar frequency. The burden of proof then falls on LOA believers to show that such a statement is true. So, is it? After all, wasn't it Einstein who said, everything is energy and that's all there is to it? Match the frequency of the reality you want and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. Except,
Based on physics though is the law of attraction is about matching the frequency or the vibration so that you can get what you want.
he never did. Despite
It's a false. It's not true, Jenny.
the quote being cited amongst law of attraction believers, these words were never actually uttered by Einstein. Although just a small example, this subtle deceit and distortion of the facts seems to be a recurring theme the more you dive into the law of attraction. Pseudoscience consists of statements, beliefs, or practices that try to claim legitimate bearings in science using words like law or vague references to quantum science to make it sound valid.
O diba, karon kay dinat ni siya nga topic kay actually ako pud is nagatuo pud ko about ana nga about ana nga what do you call this, nagatuo ko ana nga about yung law of attraction about na good thing is na ano ko na siya ng video and then ma-share ko na ko siya sa inyo ha o mag-share ko mo sa inyo ang mga opinions sa comment section. Okay? Basing mali ko kung ginapang buhay. Napatakaraw ko. So let's find out.
Of course, pseudoscience specifically fails to comply with the scientific method, which is what turns it into pseudoscience in the first place. It cannot be proven. But deceit can be rather easy in the age of the internet. A quick Google search of "do your thoughts and feelings have a frequency" will produce an answer box that states every thought and emotion has its own vibrational frequency or wavelength. The title of this article is "The Quantum Mechanics of Changing Thoughts." But if one was to investigate further, we see that the article was written by, quote, Dr. Kim and Dr. Hill, who are both authors of the site itself. On their site, they state that, quote, together they have over 20 qualifications in holistic modalities including biofeedback, neuro-linguistic programming, Tibetan Buddhism psychology, hypnosis, energy psychology, coaching, visualization, and meditation. Note, however, the lack of a scientific background. More specifically, the lack of any qualification.
So Bollywood worship village nagka-claim sila of something without facts, tama ba, or evidence, without the evidence or without the support of science, something like that. I don't know.
In physics and quantum physics. When looking back at the original article, we see that it is filled with assumptions and easily falsifiable claims. The original article also contains a sublink to another article titled, quote, Quantum Mechanics and Your Authentic Potential. In this article, they make reference to a study by Dr. Masaru Emoto. Emoto's study is commonly cited when attempting to prove the scientific basis for the law of attraction, or the idea that thoughts and feelings are able to affect the physical world. Emoto claimed that our emotional energies and vibrations could change the physical structure of water. His experiments consisted of exposing water in glasses to different words, pictures, or music.
Ay, wala kakita na ko ani sa reels sa Facebook na ano lagi daw mag-change daw. Water has a memory. So, kung sa mong ginabutang na dito ng mga positive words daw is pag i-freeze daw nimo or ipa-ice nimo ang tubig is nindot daw siya. Dito ba eh? Sa kanang mga design niya. Pero pag negative daw imong gibutang nga words, dito is pangit siya results. And let's see.
and then freezing and examining the crystals that formed. Emoto claimed his experiments showed that water exposed to positive speech and thoughts would result in visually pleasing crystals being formed when the water was frozen, and that negative thoughts and intentions would yield to ugly, frozen crystal formations. Emoto's original double-blind study of this experiment included co-researchers Dean Radin, Gail Hayson, and Takeshige Kizu. The study was then published in the journal Explore, the Journal of Science and Healing. So, was Emoto really onto something? Once more, a level of deceit lies beyond the surface. Dean Radin, a participant in Emoto's study, is also the co-editor-in-chief of the journal Explore, the Journal of Science and Healing, the very same journal that the studies were published in. And Explore has been heavily criticized by the scientific community for the content it publishes, described as a quote, sham masquerading as a real scientific journal. Emoto's initial double-blind study was in fact badly carried out, and when a follow-up triple study was conducted to repeat the test, it showed an even less significant outcome and acknowledged the difficulties of properly controlling the experiment. Dr. Emoto himself is technically not a doctor. He is a doctor of alternative medicine at the Open International University for Alternative Medicine in India.
So siguro nga mo gina-promote nila another ways of healing kuno. Okay.
A quote, university that specifically targeted quacks and sold them fake degrees. Emoto was also personally invited to take the $1 million paranormal challenge by James Randi, a challenge that promised to pay out $1 million to anyone that could demonstrate a supernormal or paranormal ability under agreed upon scientific testing criteria. Emoto did not participate. Once more, a prevailing theme around the supposed science of the law of attraction are controversies, criticisms, and deceit, with obscure references to quantum physics or brainwaves from individuals that are seemingly unqualified to talk on the subject. It isn't a surprise that the law of attraction is considered a pseudoscience and isn't taken seriously in any form of mainstream science. To the average person, references to these scientific terms often go unchecked and unverified, because whoever is informing you sounds like a figure of authority on the subject by virtue of just
So ang kanay siguro kanang mga siguro kung mag-wonder pud ko kay ngano kanti tao mo di mo tuo po tapos mabasay mo gud pa kaning kita mga tao is kapoy na ta mag-do og research diba kung sa tuwing ginaingon sa social media is mga po itong ginatuuhan labi na pagdagan kay mga labi na pagdako na nga community is parang mainganyo po kang mo join tapos kung sa tuwing ang ginatuuhan is mo tuo na lang po or something diba? Pero naman po tayong nga mga mindset siguro mga kinaiya to be honest as a human, diba?
words like quantum, and that's the point, isn't it? Because the issues with the law of attraction doesn't stop at the science. Even if we cannot prove its existence through the scientific method, there remains fundamental flaws in its promoted ideology, flaws that lay the land for people with questionable intentions. There is a fundamental problem with the law of attraction. Suppose you were to ask me the question, James, why don't you actually attempt to give the law of attraction a try for yourself? As opposed to just listening to the criticisms and science, why don't you give visualizations, affirmations, thinking on the level of that of which you would like to attract into your life a chance? And suppose I truly did go through with this idea for a week, for a month, a year, or even a decade. Two scenarios may occur. Either I manifest that of which I wanted into my life, or I don't, which in and of itself can be subjective. Let's assume that I don't receive from the universe that of which I wanted to attract. I then come back to you years later and tell you of my findings. What do you suppose, if you were a believer in the law of attraction, your response would be?
The reason the LOA is not working is
much ka James kaya ano takan kami nga the reason nga nung dili mag-work in the law of attraction kay mo ni mali imong ginabuhat nalapoy lahi nga gurus or nalapoy nga teacher ni nalapoy nga kung ano good yun kulang imuhang pamaagi is mali pud imuhang kulang pa og push or takan kay sila mga diba dagan kay mga excuse nga money kulang kulang ka ingredients para mabuo nimo ang the law of attraction para manifest nimo ang life nga imong gusto maging successful ka. So maglibog ka kay daghan kayo mga references, daghan kay mga tao, influencers or mga tawag ano yun mga motivational teachers kinagaingon nga kini mo ning button mo ni siya ang perfect for the law of attraction para manifest nimo ang future or manifest nimo ang dreams or life na imong gusto. Kini nga person kini nga vlogger is kinatan-aw po na ko ni siya before about sa mga manifestation kay lagi daw na mga kabalo daw siya sa mga pamaagi kung saan ito ang perfect or imperfect pamaagi yung saan pag gamit sa the law of attraction.
Don't believe it works.
What's holding you back is a subconscious resistance or blockage or barrier.
You are really weighing your energy down with a ton of resistance.
You are manifesting probably the absence of something you want.
It is crucial to brainwash that subconscious, to wipe away that negativity.
And herein lies the problem. The law of attraction is, at its core, unfalsifiable. And unfalsifiable claims or ideas pave the way for those who have bad intentions. Because if I were to sell you a course, a program, or a book promoting an unfalsifiable claim, I am left completely and utterly blameless. Isn't that just convenient? The second part of this series will expand on this idea further. I'm aware that to those of you that truly do believe in the law of attraction, your convictions may remain unwavering. How could it be wrong? What could possibly explain those events in which my thoughts and feelings were so aligned that I genuinely manifested that of which I was looking for? How can anything explain those constant coincidences?
Everything that I wrote on this piece of paper has come true.
But when coincidences are that specific and that they happen that often, you have to stop questioning things.
What about the celebrities and the successful people that credit the law of attraction to their success? They can't be lying. They genuinely do use the law of attraction themselves. Jim Carrey, Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey, Russell Brand, Conor McGregor, Jay-Z, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steve Harvey, and the list goes on. Survivorship bias is a logical error made when you concentrate on the people or things that made it past some selection process and begin to overlook those that did not. Sure, there are some famous and successful people that credit the law of attraction to their success. But what about...
What do you think, guys? It's so hard.
99% of those who also believe in the law of attraction but failed to get anywhere near that level of success in their lives. Conveniently, we can lay out a bunch of justifications as to why they didn't achieve the same level of success. But surely a more rational and truthful approach would be to look at these people's success as a multifaceted answer. That these individuals may have been stating their intentions into the world, visualizing their goals, affirming themselves, but none of these things were necessarily the roadmap that paved their success. That there are elements of luck, talent, upbringing, hard work, and countless other factors at play here. Why make that logical leap into assuming the law of attraction is the explanation? Confirmation bias also seems to be rampant.
For me, if bisan pa siguro naga-follow ka sa the law of attraction, if you're not doing something, if you're not working hard for that goal or for that dreams, then siguro dili pud mo siya ma-achieve. Kay sige kag manifest tapos wala pud kay ginabuhat, diba? Or for example, gusto ka aning job tapos pinakagusto jud mo nga job tapos ikaw sige kag manifest mo pud sa mong life na. Pero ikaw wala pud ka nag wala ka nang nagtrabaho, wala ka nag-apply sa trabaho ang budo sa imo ha. Maging good nga logic. So, pero when it comes to kamo ting giingon behind anang imong pag manifest or kanang about sa pagsulod nimo sa the law of attraction, behind ano is imong hard work, ang mga skills ug imong time, effort, diba?
Because while someone like Conor McGregor is a firm believer in the law of attraction, we seem to look at his successful wins and fights and completely ignore the losses. Did McGregor also manifest his losing fight against Khabib? Of course, the law of attraction may suggest that such a loss was necessary for McGregor to manifest success in the future, or that McGregor wasn't truly aligning his thoughts and feelings with his intentions. The answer, of course, could never simply be that the law of attraction doesn't exist, that the reasons for McGregor's loss are to do with countless other variables.
Pero what if guys, if for example, di naman siguro tanan kung mag-follow ka sa law of attraction is or manifest guys perfect ang result or perfectly achieved nimo tong sa imong specific gusto or goal. Okay, what if nag-manifest ka, di ba? Then at some point na sa imong throughout the process is na-stop ka or na-fail ka or something di mo control ang mga pagitabo nga nakabasta sa imo para ma-reach nimo imong goal is like for you to learn because sa throughout the process is naman dyan yung mga failures or mga learnings, so maybe it's a redirection or something mga good. So but para siya komplikado siya masyado for me kay mga nasa 50 MB lang niya akong brain cells, but well, hapit naman po siya mahuman, so let's see na lang.
But what about those moments where you truly did set your focus on something and seemingly coincidental occurrences or opportunities appeared out of nowhere?
When coincidences that specific and that they happen that often, you have to stop questioning things.
The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is an effect that arises when your awareness of something increases, usually when you notice something new and suddenly you're aware of that thing all over the place. It's sometimes referred to as blue or red car syndrome, after those who claim to notice blue or red cars everywhere all of a sudden after purchasing their own, even though nothing in reality has changed.
Napod siya impact na siya something nga siguro kay sa about niya sa awareness na kanang kung asa ka naka-focus is muputo siya ang imong mga situation nga madali na imong mabantayan po kay simple dito ka naka-focus ang butang, so whatever the changes is murag dito na lang for example dili ka nag-focus, so if whatever the changes around this is mapansin dyan mo siya, pero outside na sa imong sa outside na dinian is sa mga part na is wala na mo nag-focus, so murag
Take, for example, an apple. Let me ask you, while watching this video, how many instances did you notice the image of an apple or the word apple? How about you take another look?
Diba wala pa mo kabantay, wala pa mo kabantay nga na apple kay diri ay. Basta wala pa nakita niya kay pula ra, basta pula. wala man to siya gi-focus or wala man siya giingundaan niya sa to. So wala po tanang focus, wala po tanang ngita sa Apple. So karon na nato siya napantayan kay nag-iingon siya. Kay dito na po na-focus ang atong attention sa Apple.
Law of attraction believers may, however, cite something like the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon as proof that their thoughts and feelings are able to manifest or attract that of which you desired. But you didn't really desire or set the intentions into the universe of wanting to see apples, did you? It seems like much of the law of attraction world applies motivated reasoning to their logic. They start with the conclusion and work their way backwards, attempting to find anything that they could use to justify it, whilst throwing away any evidence of the contrary. Now, imagine combining all of these biases with the fact that many turn the law of attraction into an actual identity and a core belief system. Combine the emotional and financial investment people place into such a belief, and it becomes abundantly clear. Of course you want to believe in the law of attraction when you have invested so much into it. Of course you're not going to be willing to find a way in which you could possibly be wrong or willing to accept that you're wrong. So that leaves us with one last rebuke. What's the problem here, James?
So unsa jud James ha?
What?
Imong gusto nga ipasabot sa amo?
Why not let people believe in the law of attraction? It's doing them no harm after all, right? If this were true, then this video would likely not have been made. The only problem is, it isn't.
Hala.
Think and feel positive, and you will attract positive. But remember, the inverse applies to this too. That thinking and feeling on a quote negative vibration will also attract negative manifestations into your life. We can likely all agree that it's best to think positively or that optimism has its place in living a happier life. But we would never expect someone to be feeling great all the
Jud, tama jud. Di lang sa tanang panahon nga dapat positive ta kay murag mawala na pud ang sense of life or sense of experience nga sige daw imagine na daw post na ng positive anay tapos si mga life like happy pero nice pero do okay siya in some way maybe pero in the long run parang unrealistic mo pag kayo ng post na ng happiness may tapos in life kay ingon pa sila it's a contrast so if there's a positive there should be a negative, diba? Kung may happiness, may sadness, how can you identify happiness without sadness? Positivity without negativity, diba?
Hand in hand.
You gotta break through the logic. You cannot let logic control you. Logic is bad for us.
How much money did you lose in your experience?
All in all, the guts of £10,000. Because I know I was absolutely broken. It's the only way I can put it into words. I was broken.
Diba? You cannot control things naman. And then, it's okay not to be okay, diba? Pero hindi lang po ng permanente na lang po di ka okay, babe. So, mana siya na to ang mana siya na to ang need na may balaan kung daghan ba ang positive ani or daghan ba ang negative kung unsa po ang positive o unsa po ang mga negative para pag ma-enlighten ta o if ever nga namatay mali ang gibuhat I mean if ever nga natin mga, mali na dito itong ginapang follow or ginapang ano sa itong life is makorek na to siya as soon as possible. So, I think that's it for today's video. And please don't forget to comment down below for your opinions. And again guys, disclaimer, this is also my comments and my opinions about this topic. So thank you so much and you guys have a great day. Goodbye for now. Call center.